We are live because guess what? It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's Monday, and when it's 8 o'clock on a Monday, it is Mighty Monkeys Nerd World News, and I'm your host, Jonas Stalk. It's with me as always, my friends James, Tanya, and Ann, the comic chicks, and the grandmaster of the blog himself. I'm hoping you guys are well. There's one person missing today that we're sending some well wishes out to: our producer, our president, our man in charge, Mr. Dan. He's not feeling so hot today. Second round of chemo is being a little bit on the evil side. So everybody send some love and good vibes to our master and commander. And wishing you the best, my brother. And we will talk to you very, very soon. Elizabeth Rice is on board. Good evening. John Parangow's on board as well. Good evening to you as well, my friends. I'm going to throw this up in a chat now before I forget. There is a link. Make it your friend. All right. So there's a thing. Moving on, we're going to hit top story. And then we're going to jump into the usual fare. Hey, let's start with some good news, shall we? Eliza Dushku and her husband, Peter Palangian, are expecting their second child, Mama ×2. The actress, 40 years old, revealed on Saturday that she is expecting her second child with her husband, Peter. Mama ×2, she wrote on Instagram along a trio of images, including one in which she smiled while showing off her growing baby bump. She added an incredibly sweet nod to her husband and their son, Philip, whom the couple affectionately refers to by the nickname of Born. Not sure why, but there we roll with it. Seeming to already embrace his role as big brother-to-be, the actress also shared a photo of her one-year-old son wearing a very special T-shirt. Can you dig it? I'm going to be a big brother. All of our love to Buffy alum Eliza. Hope this goes smoothly for her, and we can't wait to meet her second child. Moving on, as we are prone to do. Hey, there's a Peter, and there's Bill, and there's Andy. Good to see you guys. Hope all is well with everybody here, as Rochester is bracing at the moment because it's cold outside and the winds are picking up, the winds of winter. This is the time, this is the place where we go wandering off to a dance studio on the west side of the city, or excuse me, on the east side of the city. I'm on the west side of the city, because the west side, best side. Anyway, moving over to the east side of the city where our young and vivacious Ann and Tanya are hanging out right now, getting ready for their tap dance class. But before they do, it's time for some comic chicks. Girls, bring it on.
Oop, well, we've got 4 comics this week.
Pushing the wrong buttons here.
4.
Not Thor, 4.
Thor. 4.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. See, this is why we need Dan. Go, just keep talking. I'll figure this out.
Batman number 106, The Cowardly Lot, Part 1, Demon or Detective, Part 1. Mm-hmm. Following the tragic events of Infinite Frontier Zero, Batman and his new ally, Ghostmaker, must reckon with a new gang operating in Gotham City. But are they connected to the reemergence of the Scarecrow?
Ooh.
Meanwhile, shadowy billionaire Simon Saint pitches an advanced law enforcement system to the new mayor. The creative team behind the epic The Joker War returns with a thrill-packed, dangerous new storyline called The Cowardly Lot. Plus, the backup story, Demon or Detective, begins as Damian Wayne is on the run. After everything Damian has gone through, can he escape Gotham and find his way back to where this journey started, to his mother, Talia al Ghul? This 2-part tale concludes this month in Detective Comics 1034.
Ooh. Avengers number 43, Enter the Phoenix, Part 4. In the beginning, there was not darkness. The fight to become the all-new Phoenix heats up, as the greatest heroes and villains of the Marvel Universe are trapped within the battle to decide the all-new Phoenix. A bloody battle that has narrowed to a handful of desperate combatants. Thor leads the rest of the Avengers in the fight to contain the Phoenix Force on Earth, and a quest complicated by Thunder God's own mysterious connection to the cosmic Firebird.
Ooh.
Creepy.
Yeah. Okay, the third one, Star Wars, The High Republic number 3. There is no fear, Chapter 3 down below. All new series continues, a dark mystery only the Jedi can unravel. But at what cost? A planet stricken by a mysterious blight, one Jedi missing, and another driven insane. What horror lurks in the darkness beneath the rotting crops? Death is averted, but a terrible union is formed. Can Kiev Trennis protect an innocent life while facing betrayal from within her own order.
Suicide Squad number 1, Assault on Arkham, part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed for Task Force X as Peacemaker takes over as field leader. There will be no more avenging or defending for the government's top secret task force of killers, thieves, and criminals. Amanda Waller, now back in control of the squad, sends a new squad into Arkham Asylum to recruit the deadly Court of Owls, Assassin's Talon, while she interviews a whole new candidate, Superboy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 comics that we have pulled for this week. We do have Comic Chicks on Wednesday night.
Woo!
Okay.
We'll be opening some boxes.
There's some big ones out there.
There are.
Mhm.
So that's what we have going on right now. And the only other thing I was gonna say, Dan might not be feeling so hot, but I think he's at least warm.
Yeah, you hooked him up with an electric blanket there, so he's all like totally cozy and
Oh, I
ensconced.
know. He looks so comfy.
I know.
I'm a little
And
jealous
knows
of him,
that
to be
feeling.
honest at the moment.
He's gonna find all the cats. Well,
Yes, the
Yeah.
other cats find me.
They're gonna find him. Yeah.
So
Thank
on
you,
that
ladies.
note, we're
Have
gonna
a
say
good night.
goodbye.
Bye,
All right.
guys.
You have a good night. Be safe. Let me know when you guys have gotten home. Okay, please.
Okay.
We will.
All right. And Comic Chicks will see you guys on Wednesday night.
Yes.
Woo.
All right. Groovy, groovy.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're out.
All right. James, my friend. This is
Yes.
when we start talking about the weekly blog, patreon.com. You'll find it in our link tree in the links above. And once a week, James has his wonderful blog that he's been writing for us for quite some time now. James, tell us a little bit more about what you got going on right now.
Over on the blog, we are returning to the arcade alley, and we are ordering our martinis shaken and not stirred, but not drinking too many of them before we hit the road in Spy Hunter. This 1983 hit from Midway was, in fact, almost a James Bond game. And I will discuss the strange logic behind the game's seemingly endless highway, as well as the music they settled on when they couldn't secure the Bond license. That should go up tomorrow on Patreon if everything goes according to plan. It's been a bit of a crazy week over here, too. Also, this week on Gaming Street Regulars, with Rochester's seemingly never-ending winters, Chrissy and I decided it would be a good idea to discuss some board games outside the usual Monopoly, Scrabble, Clue, and other well-worn favorites to cure the winter blahs. Our game night buddy Mike Cusey joins us as we look at award-winning favorites like Carcassonne to games with wild premises like King of Tokyo and Dark Moon. Also, there's a game where you play a pro wrestling version of Cthulhu. I swear I'm not making that up, and you'll hear about it this Thursday.
Very cool, James. Thanks for that. That's awesome as always. I'm looking forward to hearing that. We're going to jump over to the comments section, have a little bit of fun over there. Bill and Doug are bantering about snow because for Doug, it's 62 in Roanoke, Virginia. I have no sympathy for you whatsoever at the moment. Doug, you can go ahead and miss snow all you like. Batman John is on board. Good to see you, Batman John. Hope all is well with you down in the southern tier of New York State. Little Miss Elizabeth Rice, electric blankets are the best. I've never had one myself personally, but I hear great things about them. Andy's talking about Peter Gunn, correct? Yes, that was the music used for the Spy Hunter game, which, by the way, was one of my favorite arcade games growing up. And the conversation about electric blankets continues as Peter jumps in with they're great, except if you have a cat who likes to claw things. That would definitely be a small problem. Let's see. Love King of Tokyo. That's John's comment there. And now we are off to the races. Next up on the list of things to talk about, G.I. Joe live-action TV series centered on Lady J is in the works at Amazon. From Eric Olson, Paramount TV Studios, E1, and Skydance TV are all teaming up. Lady J, the undercover operative in Hasbro's G.I. Joe universe, is getting the small screen treatment. Deadline understands that a live-action TV series about the character, who was portrayed by Adrian Palicki in the 2013 feature film G.I. Joe Retaliation, it is in the works at Amazon. Eric Olson, the showrunner and executive producer of the upcoming second season of Amazon's legendary produced Carnival Row, will create and run the series and will executively produce alongside Lorenzo de Bonaventura. It comes from Paramount Television Studios, E1, and Skydance Television, as mentioned in the title of the particular article. The series will be a standalone story centered around Jay, which will also connect to the larger G.I. Joe universe. Jay first appeared in 1984, the animated series, and was later turned into an action figure and written into the comics. Olsen's past credits include head writer and executive producer on Amazon's The Man in High Castle, as well as showrunner and executive producer on the third season of Netflix's Daredevil. He currently has an overall deal with Amazon Studios and is represented by WME, as well as Jamie Mandelbaum and Jackaway Austin Tierman. Goes on to talk a little bit more about Olsen in the article, but as always, you know our mantra: as we learn things, we will share them with you. Let's see. Yes, Elizabeth, as yet again, you have this unerring ability. You know, we need to get you on Nerd World News as one of our reporters, because you have the unerring ability of talking about what's going to be the next story. And I love that. I absolutely love that. But Elizabeth goes on to say, San Diego Comic-Con 2021 got canceled today. A great call, honestly, but it's sad to see stuff still being affected by this. And that is the title of the next article. They're hoping for a smaller event in the fall, which will probably predominantly be virtual. But for the second consecutive summer, fans of comics, popular culture, and the wide world of entertainment showcased at the San Diego Comic-Con will have to do without an annual in-person gathering. Comic-Con International, the organization that runs SDCC, announced today that Comic-Con 2021 will be postponed until summer of 2022. A 3-day Comic-Con at home online event will take place over the summer, and the organization said it's hoping to do a smaller event later in the fall or winter. And the quotes comes up: while we are buoyed by the rollout of the vaccine and the growing number of individuals being inoculated, it appears that July will still be too early to safely hold an in-person event. It appears that July will still be too early, and that was announced by CCI on its website March 1st today. For that reason, we have made the challenging decision to postpone Comic-Con 2021 as an in-person gathering until our 2022 dates, and then once again hold this year's celebration as free online Comic-Con at home. San Diego Comic-Con is one of the largest and longest continuously running fan events in the world, growing from a small gathering of hardcore fans in the late 60s to a multimedia extravaganza that draws hundreds of thousands to San Diego each July, generating hundreds of millions of dollars of economic impact. Because of its outsized influence in the fan and professional communities, SDCC has become a magnet for Hollywood and the related media, entertainment, video gaming, and technology industries. In 2019, the 50th edition of SDCC drew over 135,000 attendees each day, with many more crowded into the nearby streets for off-site attractions and activations. Now, the reason we focus a little bit on SDCC ourselves is they are basically our role model. That's what we've always tried to we're trying to grow FC3 to look a lot like SDCC. They're a great fan. They're a great group. They're awesome. They do an amazing job, and they've been doing it for 50 years. So you can't go wrong in worshiping something like that. So moving on through the comment section here, just wanted the all right. Let's see what Bill has to say. Or Andy says, Bill, that was the fanfare for the common man. I get that. And Elizabeth says, hoping they might put retail workers on the list for the vaccine. Once more, people with underlying conditions are all able to get appointments, of course, but hoping I can get in before it's a full free-for-all. Yeah, seriously. Andy goes on to say, if you're eligible, open vaccine dates for the Kodak Hawkeye site began booking at 8 a.m., I believe. And Elizabeth comments, I am actually the only one in my house that doesn't have an appointment yet. Everyone else qualifies for one reason or another. I know that feeling. I just found out that I myself can go ahead and start to apply whether I get approved or not, so the matter entirely. City Hall calls me essential, but nobody else does. But that's another story entirely. Moving on, guys, catch your breath on this one. Amber Heard was not fired from Aquaman 2. Reports indicated rumors that she'd been fired from Aquaman 2 and had been replaced as Mera. Despite the widespread rumors, it has been confirmed that it is actually not the truth at this time. She still remains a part of the upcoming sequel to 2018, the 2018 blockbuster as the film's female lead. There was an unverified report on a YouTube site that heard was going to be replaced by Game of Thrones Emilia Clarke due to violating the health and fitness clauses in her contract for the upcoming DC Universe film. The report quickly spread throughout the internet, leading to Amber Heard trending on social media with fans reacting to the rumors. However, Ryan Parker, senior staff writer for The Hollywood Reporter, he basically confirmed today that, told by a reliable source, that it's just not true. So say what you want about Amber. We all have our opinions over how that whole situation is going. But at this time, the plans are Aquaman 2 will still have the controversial actress on board in the cast. Douglas goes on to say that we're essential to you guys. I appreciate that. I really do. That makes me happy. And Andy says, PM me your zip and I'll check. I'm in 14615. It's not hard to figure that out. So moving on, I think I'm out of stuff at the moment. So yes, we're going to jump into, guess what? It's time to celebrate some birthdays. At the top of the show, we talked about Eliza Dushku getting ready to push out child number 2, and that's so awesome. But here we're going to talk about the present day of what's going on this week in terms of celebrities having a birthday. Jensen Ackles starts the whole list off, having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Jensen, 43. Singer Kesha, actor Mark Paul Gosselaar, and my dear friend who lives on the West Coast, Cindy Kanyuki. She is also celebrating another trip around the sun today. Happy birthday, Cinders. All right, tomorrow, Tuesday, the 2nd of March, we say happy birthday to Rebel Wilson, John Bon Jovi, and Daniel Craig. Keep an eye on James Bond for a moment longer as we get lower on the list. Wednesday, the 3rd, we say happy birthday to Cake Boss Buddy Valastro and actress Jessica Biel. Thursday, the 4th, Catherine O'Hara, actress Patricia Heaton, and actor and activist Chaz Bono are going to be having a birthday on Thursday. On Friday, we say happy birthday to Eva Mendes and Doctor Who alumni Matt Lucas. Nardole, are you a secret badass? Nothing secret about it, baby doll. Moving on to Saturday, the 6th of March, we say happy birthday to Shaquille O'Neal, actor Martin Kove, and Pink Floyd legendary guitarist David Gilmour. It's not a birthday list unless I use the word legendary at least twice. Moving on to Sunday, the 7th, happy birthday to Jenna Fisher, Bryan Cranston, Wanda Sykes, and oh, look at that. It's Daniel Craig's wife, Rachel Weisz. So it's going to be happy fun ball working in that family as they have 2 birthdays in 1 week. That's kind of cool. Monkey Business is coming up on Wednesday. We have a great chat about professional wrestling with my buddy Vinny Pontillo, who is the host of the podcast Bulldogs Got the Book. And Comic Chicks will be on Wednesday. Thursday, as James mentioned, it's going to be fighting off the Winter Blahs with some really great board games. He and Chrissy will be talking about that with a guest. And on Friday, there will be no Dan and Chris Save the World. We've got a couple things working. I think that's going to be an every other week thing. And James is also working on a couple of extra projects as well. Listen, kids, it's time to start wrapping things up and saying goodnight for the time being. Douglas says the future of the DC cinematic universe is so wild. It is going to be a kind of a weird play. Thursday the 4th, I can try to sign up for Hawkeye at 8 a.m. I will work on that. Thank you, Andy, for that heads up. And Elizabeth Rice goes on to say, I hope they get Nardole in the one of the Diary of River Songs episodes one of these days. That would be a lot of fun there. Friends, in the words of Jake Barr, TikTok hero extraordinaire, you're not allowed to quit. All right? Whatever that saying means to the most of you, translate it in any way you see fit. But you're not allowed to quit. I want to see you guys next week. So guess what? It's time for that phrase. You guys have a great week. Have a safe week, and I will talk to you again next week. For Dan, for Tanya, for Ann, James, do your thing.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you all soon.